You're locked on to Hans Olsen and Scotty Chin. That's right. Yeah! On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I'll hop around a little bit, trying to keep blood in the extremities.
Jeez, this is so cold in here. My computer's frozen.
My iPhone won't work.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Last time that happened, you and I were in that game, that BYU-Utah State game in Logan when we were on the sidelines.
Yeah.
When you moved Ben Bagley in front of you so you wouldn't get hit by a player.
Yeah, Ben absorbed the hit.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I'm putting my eggs in the fridge to keep them unfrozen.
I know. You got to put them in the fridge to keep them from freezing.
Yeah, I'm keeping them in the fridge so I could keep it at a nice 39 degrees instead of freezing at 27 degrees.
Lloyd, man, boy, have you guys changed.
Lloyd, I can't breathe inwards without my teeth
You guys
hurting.
don't even have that Viking blood anymore.
Stop it.
Hans has like crystals coming off his beard now.
You know, this goes back to you, Lloyd. Like,
it always goes back to me.
Can you take care of Scotty and I, please?
Yeah,
help us.
You know I do.
Help
I've
us
reached
help
out.
our listeners.
I've reached out.
Can we get a heater in here or something?
I think we've already got
Can
that
we,
established.
we not bring that up?
Just to warm it up a little?
We got to...
Here, let me... You know what?
Do we need me to walk a few...
You want me to go grab a Minky? I bet we got some Minkies in our room.
Oh, that would actually... I'd be okay with that.
We don't have to share one, do we?
Well, I think you should for the show.
I'd throw a Minky on my shoulders, and then I'd look like a Viking. Some type of animal fur across my shoulders.
Oh, that's the next Minky they've got to come out. That looks like
the Viking.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. And just leave a little bit of the animal stink in it.
Yeah, just got a little bit of the skin still attached to it.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. All right, so the NHL comes to an end. Congrats to the Florida Panthers. They are now your Stanley Cup champions. Now, are we just about 24 hours away from crowning an NBA champion? Yeah, probably. Oklahoma City and the Pacers coming up tomorrow. And as much as I'd love to see that thing go 7, I don't know. Pacers are at home, though. Maybe. Or am I just trying to talk myself into it?
You're trying to talk yourself into it. Haliburton is broke.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing there. And so, okay, Hans, you're Haliburton, and you're a competitor. You want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be like, I'm going to be out there no matter what. It's a chance to force a Game 7. This is my team. These are my brothers. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do this. So he's going to want to play regardless. He's not thinking long term. But if you're a coach and you're the general manager, you got to say, hey, if there's even a slight chance that you could shred that Achilles, we can't have you out there.
Yeah, but I have to leave it up to him.
Really?
Because it's elimination. And you could say, well, the images are showing. And if I'm Tyrese, I'll be like, I don't care what the images are showing. I'm telling you what I'm feeling. And I can go. I'm going to force them to believe it. But then again, it goes back to, okay, well, what's Tyrese Haliburton's contract? And what to me, it doesn't matter. I'm a competitor. I know that if I don't win tomorrow or Thursday, if I don't win.
Oh, tomorrow is Thursday, right?
Tomorrow is Thursday.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
If I don't win tomorrow, then I'm done anyways. Like I'm a competitor. I've got to extend it. So I go. And I lie. And I make everybody believe it's going to be okay. And then I go until I can't. I push until I can't. Now, if I'm on the court and I'm feeling it and it's like this thing might go and I can feel it, then I take myself off the court in that moment. Now, a lot of people say, well, then you could have just let your teammates prepare through the back end of Tuesday through Wednesday to get ready for Thursday's elimination game instead of taking the time and taking the reps. And all I'm telling my staff is prepare like I'm not there, but understand I'm going to be there. But if this thing goes down, then go to plan B. But I'm making sure that I'm going. Because if my team gets eliminated and Friday morning comes around and I've rested on my calf and it's feeling pretty good, and I'm sitting there like Friday and my team's all down, heartbroken, my city's heartbroken, We just got eliminated when we had our first chance in years. And I'm sitting and my calf's feeling good. I'm going to question myself and be like, I should have went. I should have gone. I would have a hard time living with myself.
But so that's one avenue you go. Let's go the other avenue here where you do go and you push it and you tear an Achilles and your team loses. And so you lose and you're now out the next 16 to 17 months.
So this is going to be different for everybody, but at least I could sit there Friday morning preparing for surgery, telling my team, telling my fans, telling my family, telling my kids, telling my friends, telling everybody I gave it everything I had. But I wasn't going to go down a loser. I wasn't going to go down as, well, we got to be safe. I wasn't going to go down like that. I am an athlete. I am a competitor. And I'm going to go down blowing my Achilles. And I can live with myself and live with this recovery more than living with what could have been.
Okay.
But I'm too scared and too big of a pansy.
Ooh, you're making me nervous there for a second.
And I'm listening to these trainers and I'm listening to these coaches tell me, hey, let's take it easy. I can't live with that.
All right, so
I'm making $48 million this year.
Okay, so if you're the coach, whatever it is, if you're the coach, you're GM, you're the trainer, then you have to be the adult in the room. Because for the long-term health of the Pacers, in not just competing for a title this year, but competing for multiple titles coming up, somebody's got to be the adult in the room.
Okay, so when we're talking about a Tua Tagovailoa and brain injury and lifelong sustained results and multiple incidences where he's passed out on a field, then I say an adult has to take him off the field. He's going to be a vegetable. An adult has to take him off the field. We're talking about a strained calf. Let me be the governor. Let me be the adult. I know what I'm feeling. And by the way, Scotty,
I already said that I can't trust you though.
But if I'm on the court and I'm feeling like it's going to go, I can make that decision. I know my body is telling me, oh my gosh, it's fatigued. I've got the thing with Mehmet Okur. I watched Kevin Durant. Haliburton knows what the potential is of that thing.
Yeah, but you also just said that, if he goes off, then he's going to think he's a loser.
Okay, and guess what? If I make the decision that when that freaking thing hurts and I'm going to push it until it blows, that's on me.
Yeah,
And when the media sits down and they're like, whoa, why did coach let you play? Because I wasn't going to come off the court. Yeah. Whoa, why didn't your GM make the decision to take you off the court? Because I told him I'm going to play. It's an elimination game. Yeah, but now you're out another year. I don't care. At least I know that I gave it everything I had.
Yeah, but the coach and the GM care because they need you back next year.
Yeah, I understand that. But they should also care because I am a competitor. That's why you brought me in here.
Yeah, but
let me be the competitor.
And somebody's got to be the adult in the room.
Okay, if it was a brain damage issue, yes.
But it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It is the same thing.
No, it's a year recovery. It's a year recovery. It's not brain damage.
It's. Are you available to help your team win? That's it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm available right now with a sore calf. That's where I'm available.
Okay, but if a trainer says if he goes, there's a 60% chance that Achilles is going to go.
Then I say, well, let's take the 60% chance risk because if he doesn't go, we're eliminated and it's over anyways. Well, he'll sit out a full year. I'm willing to try it. Because he's a competitor. He wants to go. He's telling me he feels good. I'm going to put it in his hands. He is an adult.
But you already said you can't trust him.
He is an adult.
I'm not going to trust.
I'm putting it in his hands. There's no way I'm taking him off the court. Hell no.
I'm taking him off.
What are you talking about? You got any guts?
If it
you
means
you got anything in the tank, son? Or you're just going to give up and say, "Oh, the series is over."
I don't have him for the next year and a half. Then yeah, I'm taking him off the court.
No, I'm done with that. That is the NBA way, though. You're absolutely right. That's the NBA way. Be weak. Be spineless. Take competition away from it.
What good is he if he's out for the next year and a half?
What good is he if I've got $48 million sitting on the bench and I get eliminated in Game 6?
You owe him another 48 the next year, and then 55 the year after, where he's just sitting there on an island somewhere,
or
earning a check.
Or I let this year's co-MVP or, second, third in running, the most hated guy, disrespected guy in the NBA, I let him go out with a chip on his shoulder and go earn me a Game 7. That's what I do.
And then he's going to sit next to you for the next year and a half while you're a crappy team.
No, or he could go win me a Game 6, earn me a Game 7, and then we go see. Then we go check things out in Oklahoma City. And I get a Game 7, and I'm one more game closer. I understand where you're coming from, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
Oh, of course I know where you're coming from.
The NBA has such a terrible stigma stuck on them right now. They're weak. I just watched Matt Tkachuk with a torn off the bone abductor and a hernia go win a Stanley Cup. And we're talking about a strained calf keeping Haliburton off the court.
Do you think any different of Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I love him for it. It's the only great thing I think he's ever done in his life.
Yeah, but what you don't think he didn't help his team win?
No, but
didn't do anything?
But that is the only thing he's done that's gained any respect from me.
But still, you have zero respect for him outside of that one thing.
But that was one of the greatest moments of a competitor I've ever witnessed. And I agree. I hand him that ticket.
I agree. And guess what? At the end of the day, he hurt his team.
Yep, but he
hurt his career.
But he had them in that series. He went to the court with the hopes of extending, and it's like, man,
and guess what?
That's incredible.
His career was completely altered because of it.
Yeah, that's because he hasn't followed it up, because he's just taken the weak way out. He's just trying to chase rings and jump on rosters, and now he's just a shell of the man.
Yeah, exactly, because a lot of that's because of that injury.
Well, I'm just telling you, I don't take Haliburton off the court. Not a chance. I let him be an adult. If it's hurting and you feel like it's going to blow, let's get you off the court. Yeah. If it's hurting and you feel like it's going to blow, but I'm Haliburton, and I push it and it pops, we gave it everything. Because as Haliburton, like I said, if I'm sitting there Friday morning and my team's eliminated and I didn't even try in an elimination game. I just sat there and watched my team sag and suck mud. I'm sitting there Friday morning and I'm like, who am I?
Yeah. But
what kind of piece of trash am I?
But when you're banged up, even if he doesn't shred his Achilles, Curry Ealin's right. Alex Caruso made him look like a bee. They were not a good team when he was out on the court because of that injury.
Yeah, when he was half go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you heard it from the gallery, Stephen Smith and all these clowns who wanted to clown on him and say, "Well, that's just not good enough. You got to be man enough." There's a part of it where I'm like, you know what? Let him attempt to be great. Put it in his hands. Let him be an adult. If he wants to do it and push it till it pops, let him do it and push it till it pops. And then we have to live with those consequences. But I don't want to sit with the what ifs.
Yeah.
I want to give it everything that I got. Okay, let me just go a little bit further with this. If I'm the Pacers, I'm not sitting there thinking, we'll get him in 25, 26. No, you won't. You're lucky as hell to be here anyways. You're not coming out of the East again in the next 5 years. You're not better than Cleveland. Boston might be a train wreck.
Well, that's the thing. Actually, it's setting up nicely because we don't know what's going to happen with Cleveland. We don't know what's going to happen with Donovan, and Boston's melting it all down.
Pacers are lucky as hell to be here.
Right now they are, but they're also positioned with a healthy Haliburton and this roster to be the best team in the East the next 2 or 3 years.
I don't know. Because is Milwaukee settling things with the Greek Freak?
There's no time like right now is as great of an opportunity as they're ever going to have.
But hold on. You can't look at Indiana and say, well, that's the best roster in the East.
If Giannis leaves and if Donovan forces a trade to New York.
That's a lot of ifs. That's not happening.
Yeah,
no, from everything I'm hearing, Giannis is staying put in Milwaukee and Donovan's happy in Cleveland.
We don't know that. Donovan could blow it up in any given second.
It's more likely that they do.
Why not keep your best roster you could possibly have?
Because wait a second. How many times do you think you're going to be in the finals with a chance to extend to a Game 7 if you're Indy?
I tell you what, if Haliburton has a shredded Achilles, I guarantee it's not going to happen for the next 2 years.
I guarantee it won't happen for the next 2 years anyways. Whether he's healthy or not.
I like my chance a lot better with him healthy than I do without him.
I like my chances having a Game 6 right now. I've got a Game 6. And I'm not going to sit and just let my team burn.
And you're going to let $100 million sit right next to you in the bench for the next 2 years.
Damn right I will. Damn right I will.
Well, you're not writing the checks.
Hold on. And I'm also not the NBA. You're speaking for and as the NBA. That's what you're speaking for and as.
I'm speaking as a good businessman.
That's for and as the NBA. I'm speaking as a competitor. I am not letting this opportunity go. No, I'm not. Screw you as a businessman. Screw you. You can go to hell. There's a reason that you're a businessman, because you couldn't make it as an athlete. So your ass is out there trying to make money. Let me be the competitor. I'll take us to a Game 7.
As a competitor, you're going to sit your ass on a beach for the next 2 years, raking in check after check after check. Well, I'm just sitting here, and then I get fired as a GM. I get fired as a GM and as a coach because I can't win games because you're over there on the bench.
As a competitor, I'm going to go win you Game 6. And we're going to get to Game 7. And we're going to win this finals.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at.
And that's great until it doesn't happen. And then my butt gets fired because I can't win games because you are sitting there cutting a check because nobody's going to let you go because you're earning all that money.
Your butt should get fired for trying to bench me. That's what your butt should, because you're weak. You're spineless. You ain't got a competitive bone in your body. You're trying to bench me? You're spineless. You should be fired anyways. Let me be a competitor. I'll make the decision. I'll win us Game 6. I'll get us to Game 7. I'll get us a ring that has evaded us.
What are you risking? You're risking nothing.
Oh, I'm risking everything.
No, you're not. You're getting paid regardless.
I'm risking everything.
You're getting your big fat paycheck regardless.
Put me on the court. And how dare you keep me off of it?
Because I can. Because I'm the adult in the room.
Okay, then you should be fired because I could have gone. And I would tell everybody that too.
You're going to get me fired anyway.
If I was Haliburton, I would tweet out and I'd be like, I'm ready to go. I feel 100%. If I don't go, this is their call. They're spineless. That's how I'd handle it.
Hans and Scotty were way late.
I'm not turning the heat up in there at all. You guys are turning up yourself. So
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Talk some sports. This is Sports Roulette with Hans and Scotty on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Boy, nothing says winning the Stanley Cup than having a parade route that goes over Fort Lauderdale Beach. You just won hockey. Greatest prize, and you will have a parade which will take place Sunday along Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Probably stirring at about 98 degrees. Well, I guess if you're by the beach, you're probably sitting around 87, 88. And
a little breeze coming off the ocean.
Life doesn't suck for Florida golf or hockey lately. That's 6 consecutive years, either Tampa or Florida.
Yeah. How closer is your places to Fort Lauderdale?
About 3.5, 4 hours.
Oh, okay. So it's
north.
It's a ways away.
Mm-hmm. All four of them are right there?
North of Fort Lauderdale? Okay.
Huh?
All 4 of them are right there?
Right.
No, I'm serious. All 4 of what?
All 4 of what?
Of your
You know I don't
places.
have 4 houses. I've got 2.
Are you
2.
sure?
Yes.
You're being modest.
Dose.
Okay.
Only a rich man would have 4.
Yes. But a very nice microwave oven in each one.
All I know, boys, is we're halfway through June, and I'm not going to speak it.
Yeah, don't speak it into existence.
Yeah,
because it's been some rough years of you-know-what.
Yeah, I know.
So none of those things anywhere from the golf or anything.
Don't do it.
Anywhere.
Is it August, September? Is that when you need to?
June.
June? Is it June?
Yeah, it starts in June.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. For some reason, I thought it was later in the summer.
No,
But
one of the
What
bigger
if
ones
you
was
end up
June-ish.
being the only condo that's still running?
And we're collecting more shrimp than anybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
What if you're the only condo that survived?
I'll turn it into an Airbnb and I'll make real money.
That's where the money's at.
Yeah, it is.
I'm actually thinking
In
about.
some,
Well, yeah,
there's
true.
people that are sinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been staying up on the Airbnb scene.
The rent scene, though, I was reading somewhere in California where they're like the sellers are like 2 to 1 over the buyers. So like it's a
buyer's market
big time
in California.
Well, no, well, just because prices are so high, it's just forcing people to rent, so they can't afford housing, and frankly, they can't afford renting. But
what's interesting, the housing market right now in our state is real interesting. This is the most inventory we've had.
oh yeah,
We are packed with inventory. And it's crazy because
prices aren't going down, are they?
Not much. 12% kind of on the high end, but not much, But the problem is, the difference is in 2008, everybody was foreclosing because they had these rates and they had all this make-believe money out there. And right now, everybody's like, well, we had a stated income. We're still making that income. We're hitting 2.8%.
Yeah. So we're not giving up the house.
Not giving up the house. We're not going to come too far off the price. That's why we're not seeing this ultimate collapse like we did in 2008.
Makes sense.
Hey, but if it does happen, get some cash together.
Let's go.
Because that's when you make money.
And go get me my duplex up in Logan.
There you go. Get a nice microwave oven for yourself.
Yes. All right. Sports Roulette. We take the big storylines, put it on a roulette wheel, we spin it. Wherever that thing lands is what we end up talking about. So, Lloyd, fire it up.
A killer on the loose.
So, I don't think you're going to like my take on Henry Ruggs. But hear me out. Hear me out.
Is this a Raiders fan coming out of you?
No, it's not. So Henry Ruggs will be out.
Because it doesn't exist, but yeah.
Henry Ruggs is expected to be out August 6th, 2026.
Yeah.
So just before next season. And he was on a prisoner release program yesterday.
Yes.
And was speaking to people and said, I want to play and I expect to play. And as soon as I get out, I'm going to get back in the NFL. Okay, here's my plan. I 1,000% endorse him back into the NFL. But he has to give 85% of all earnings to that woman's family.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
85% of every penny he makes goes to that family. Okay, so I want to put you in that family's shoes. Let's say he took one of your children.
Yeah.
And in the way he did it too. Burned to death.
Yeah, horrifically.
Horrifically burned to death. Driving 156 miles per hour while completely drunk. A complete human piece of trash.
Burnt the dog, too.
Burnt the dog. Killed your son's dog.
Yep.
Okay? You know it's inevitable. He got a terrible sentence. He's going to be out, and there's nothing I can do about it. Would it ease your mind a little bit to think that you'd get 80%, 85% of an NFL income if he gets out and he jumps in the league?
Honestly, it's not about the money, and I'm being serious. For me, it's about making his life as miserable as I possibly can.
Okay.
And if taking 85% of the salary is the best way I can do it, if the court system is so neutered and so ridiculously lenient because he had a good lawyer.
Yeah. Because you can't stop that.
And this is the only thing I can do.
Yeah.
Then I will do that.
Let's say he comes out and makes $5 million. 85% of that would be $4,250,000
a year.
A year.
Yeah.
I mean, taxes obviously.
Here's the thing.
So he would get 800 and
by the letter of the law. He paid his. He didn't pay any.
No, hell no.
No.
Justice is not. I mean, the fact held. No.
And again, I'm not. I know you both are dog guys, and I think to a certain extent I am a little bit too as well. I'm not. I'm just. I don't want to diminish what Michael Vick did, but the fact that Michael Vick is spending as much, or if not more, time in prison than Henry Ruggs is going to. Yeah.
Yeah. For running a dog.
We got a problem there.
So. I mean, you and I don't want to step into the judicial or political scene.
We've gotten sideways a lot today. It seems like we're on that path right now.
But I'm going to tell you right now, that guy, if he's allowed to keep breath in his lungs, which if I'm running the judiciary system, he's probably not going to.
Yeah, I agree.
But if he's allowed to keep breath in his lungs, he'll never step out of a cell, ever. That's justice.
Yeah.
He got drunk. He drove 156 miles per hour. He killed a woman that didn't just die by impact, died by fire because you drank and you drove fast.
Yeah.
He'll never see the light of day. And as a parent of 3 beautiful daughters that I love more than anything in this world, if he took one of them, I would want to see him buried underneath a jail cell. But if he got out, and there was nothing I could do to stop it, I can't let it burn me up. I can't let it end my life. I can't let him take 2 people. So, what can I get? What can I do to make things worse for him and better for me? And if it was that, I think I'd be like, okay, if that's the best we can do, if you can't keep him incarcerated, then at least make it really miserable for him.
I would rather take 85% of his salary, and no offense to anybody working at Burger King, I would rather take 85% of his salary working at Burger King than 85% of his salary in the NFL. Because that means I've kept him out of the league and I kept him away from the fame, the adoration. It's not about money. It's about making his life as miserable as I possibly can. And if there's any way that I can keep him out of the National Football League, I would do that because I would rather garnish 85% of his wages, making $15 an hour, saying hi to people at Walmart, than I would bringing in millions of dollars off of 85% in the NFL. Because I've taken his love away from him. The one thing he loves is playing football. I want to take that away because you took away my love. I want to take away your love. And I know that's, again, a little, if I can't keep you behind bars, what's the next best thing I can do is keep you off a football field.
How are we so broken that we can't keep him behind bars? How are we so broken?
I don't know.
And people are saying, no, he served his time. And
shut up.
He's paid his penance.
Shut up.
He's redeemed and how can't you forget? It's like, wait a second. No, I'll forgive him. In fact, I've got a bunch of apathy towards him. I just don't ever want to hear his name again.
I know. That's what the problem is. I don't want, let's say you and I, our guy gets an NFL contract, to Bowl Game Radio, gets some NFL games, and you and I are calling an NFL game. I never want to hear or have to say the words, Henry Ruggs reels in the pass for the touchdown.
No.
I don't want to see that highlight.
No.
If heaven forbid the Broncos sign him, I will give up my Bronco fandom the next day.
Yeah.
Because I will not be associated with a team that brings him in. I
would feel very similar. Like this is how I felt about Watson. And that case is still disgusting. And there's a lot of details that we don't know about it. But that's how I felt about Cleveland.
Yeah.
When they signed him. It's like, man, you guys can burn. I hope you never win again.
Yeah. I was scared to death because the Broncos at that point needed a quarterback really bad. I was scared to death the Broncos were going to sign Deshaun Watson.
But look at what Watson did to him.
Yeah.
He sunk him.
Big time. Couldn't happen to two better people. All right, Hans and Scotty. We'll wrap this bad boy up. Get you ready for JJ and Alex next, right here on The Zone.
Scotty G on 97.5, the Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, wrapping up another edition of the show. Big thanks to everyone who hopped on. Of course, if you missed anything, Kurt Heelan was great. Brett McMurphy, awesome as always, breaking down the latest in college football. Remember, it's all available for you on our podcasting feed. Just search Hans and Scotty, whether you're on iTunes, whether you're on Spotify, or one of the hundreds of other services out there. Just search Hans and Scotty, and you'll get all those podcasts. You want individual interviews, you want full shows, you want hours, whatever. It's all a veritable buffet of hot sports takes.
I'm just going to throw this out on a Wednesday at 2:56.
Uh-oh.
The first two people that show up in in Nephi.
Yeah.
To say hi to us, Scotty and I are going to buy you each a chuck roast.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
We'll buy you each a big old, 4 or 5 pound chuck roast.
Yep. You got to be there, and you got to say, what's like a key phrase here?
Just come in and say, nanu, nanu.
First two people to do that, you got chuck roast.
Yeah.
In Nephi. We'll be there Friday, coming up from noon to 3. And remember, if you want Hans and I to love up your program or love up your business or love up your service or whatever you got going on, all you have to do is text 57500 and text the keyword Hans, that number, 57500. Use the keyword Hans, and one of our sales staff, friendly, courteous, hardworking, 2 of the 3 of those are true.
Diligent. Yeah.
Okay, 2 out of the 4 are true.
Yeah, they're not going to hassle you.
No, they're good dudes.
Yeah, they're not going to hassle you.
Yeah,
like it's not a hassle. It's just, what information do you have?
Yep.
You want to know how much a remote costs? You want to know how much a commercial costs? Like you want Scotty to do a commercial for you, and you want to know how much that costs. You want it to play during the football season. You'll get that information. That's HANS. Text it to 57500. HANS to 57500. We would love to be a part of your business.
And by the way, the first person to text hands to 57500, you'll get another chuck roast.
Yeah, we'll get you a chuck
We'll get
roast.
you a chuck roast.
Yeah, you want a chuck roast? It's only $5.75 a pound out there.
Yeah.
And it's such good beef.
57500. And talk to our sales staff, and then we'll hook you up with the chuck roast. First person.
I want to build a meat suit. Have you seen some of those meat suits? They build a suit like out of tri-tip, skirt steak, New York strip, and then you wear it like a suit of armor.
And then I'm going to run you through on our day of adoption. And just have you walk up and down those aisles.
That's how my parents used to build friends for me. Send me to school with a meat suit.
Oh, I guarantee Fawn told you, like, hey, look, if you got a friend that's kind of on the fence a little bit, tell him you got some chocolates coming his way.
Oh, chocolate always wants some friends.
Yeah.
But the first thing she told me was just stop biting people. Stop biting people and stop pulling people's hair.
Yes, that's usually helpful. Hey, by the way, DM coming in from a listener who we are big fans of, and we're big fans of her husband because, Nate, your wife sold you out. It's your birthday. I did not know it was your birthday until your lovely wife sent us a DM, said, hey, let Nate know it's his birthday. So happy. You know what? Not a lot of times guys get to hit the big 5-0. Yeah. So congratulations, Nate.
Did you just out his age too?
Hey, no,
You sure you want to do that?
It's a big milestone.
It is.
So we're happy for him.
And he's aged gracefully.
5-0, man.
Yeah, we love our guy.
Half a century.
He's great. Happy birthday.
We love you.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm not going downstairs.
50.
50.
I'm 50. And I can kick and I can stretch because I'm 50.
Congrats, Nate. We love you, dog. Happy birthday, our friend. Hey, coming up next, JJ and Alex next, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.